Hi, I'm Denise Joswack, co-chair of the Alliance of International Aromatherapists Research Academy, made possible by a generous grant from the Gatfase Foundation. As aromatherapy is used more in clinical settings, it's important that we share safe, effective, evidence-based clinical aromatherapy examples. A research poster is a great way to present your work and share with colleagues. Dr. Bruce Boynton is the AIA North Carolina Representative and a member of the AIA Board of Directors. He's had a distinguished career as a Naval Officer, pediatrician, researcher, editor, and hospital administrator. He became interested in aromatherapy while attending massage school and studied to become a certified clinical aromatherapist. He is the editor of the Journal of Health and Human Experience. This presentation of the AIA Research Academy is how to make a research poster.
Let's talk about how to make a research poster. And this is actually fun. I've done a lot of these beginning in high school and throughout my career, and it's a fun thing to do, and we're going to learn how to do it. I can't advance the slides. This is a presentation that is going to go into the AIA Research Academy, one of several. And Carol Scheidel gave a presentation last month that is also part of the AIA Research Academy on doing a case study. All right, what we're going to learn: the different kinds of research presentations, how to find a conference, and how to submit an abstract to get into that conference, how to design a poster step by step, how to attract people to your poster, and what to do during your poster presentation. Next. Okay, you finished your study. Congratulations. What do you do now? Next slide. Okay, your research mentor suggests that you submit your study for presentation at a research conference. If you look at the illustration there, the research mentor seems a lot more excited about the presentation than the actual researcher. Now, platform and poster presentations are usually done after you finish your experiments, after you analyze your data, but before you write the article. Once you write the article, it's sort of all over, and you move on to something else. So you might think about this as an opportunity to get feedback, to get suggestions, to get input on your study. Think about it as late-breaking news from the world of aromatherapy. Okay, there are two kinds of research presentations. One is a platform presentation, the other is a poster presentation. In a platform presentation, you get up behind the podium, you give a talk, you show your slides to audience in the room. And new researchers see their mentors doing this, and so they want to do it too. It looks like in the poster presentation, you might get lost in the crowd. However, there are several reasons why a poster presentation is really ideal for a new researcher. First, there's low stress and low anxiety. My research took off while I was in medical school. And as a sophomore, I had the opportunity, I submitted an abstract, and my study was selected for a platform presentation at a big national meeting, and I was terrified. And fact, before I gave the presentation, I had to go out and get a couple of stiff drinks, and even that didn't help. The other thing about poster presentation, you can connect with people, make friends, make new contacts, maybe find new collaborators. You can explain your research in detail. You can answer their questions. You can get critical feedback and their suggestions. And then there's no sniping. Unfortunately, what happens in a lot of academic institutions, new academics like to take pot shots at new researchers. And often it's pretty embarrassing if you're up in front of the crowd and they're asking you impossible questions. But you don't have to worry about this at a poster presentation. They're not going to be doing that. Okay, we're going to go over a checklist of steps. First, we need to find a conference. There's a lot of aromatherapy conferences that take posters, AIA, NAHA, Botanica, a organization I'd not heard of before, ICO, International Symposium of Essential Oils, IFPA, IOCA, they all take posters. Also, there's some medical and scientific conferences that you might be interested in, the American Holistic Nurses Association. Also, there's one that I've presented it several times called FASIB, Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology. They meet in Santa Monica every spring, and they have huge poster presentations. So that I think they would be very, very open to considering a well-conducted study of essential oils. After we find a conference, we've got to submit an abstract, and we're going to have a presentation on how to write abstracts later this year. You also have to follow deadlines. There's a deadline for when your abstract has to be submitted. If you don't meet that deadline, you're not going to the conference. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. Then finally, you have to make the poster. Okay, the other thing you can do is to browse the internet, and I've done just that here. This is an organization, the Society of Clinical Research Associates, that I hadn't heard of before, but let's just look through their website and see if we might submit a poster there. Looking at the front page, looks like they do have a lot of educational and conference opportunities. Let's go on to the next slide. Oh, look, they give you a guide to writing a poster abstract for the annual conference. Here's some general information and some general suggestions. Check for proper spelling and grammar, use standard typeface, so forth like that. So let's go ahead and pretend like we're going to submit an abstract. Here's an example of an abstract. This is one that I wrote. Don't pay any attention to the details, but an abstract will have your title, then the authors, and a summary of the research is in one paragraph. So that summary should say something about the background, the hypothesis, what you did, what methods you used, your results, and your conclusions, all in one paragraph. Okay, next. All right. Now we go to the SACRA website again, and we look to where we submit our abstract. Here's the abstract submission form. It has a checkoff. So, are you registered for the annual conference? And typically you fill in your name, and then there's usually a blank where you upload your abstract. So let's pretend that we've done that, and we're waiting And congratulations, your abstract has been accepted. Now we have to make the poster. Next slide. Okay, go back to the website and look for details in the poster program. Now, at the bottom, you see poster program guidelines. The poster boards are 4 feet by 8 feet, so they're rectangular, and that's a huge board. The posters should fit within the dimensions, okay? The poster boards will be freestanding with a surface that will allow push pins to secure the display. So you secure the poster to the board with push pins. So you have to remember to bring them. And most posters, not all, but most are like 36 inches by 48 ounces, 48 inches. So that's 3 by 4 feet. So let's see, if we put that on a poster board, that's going to be 6 inches of free poster board above our poster and 6 inches below. And then on either side, right and left, there will be 2 feet. If you have a 3 foot by 4 foot poster. All right, next slide. All right, there are different aspects of a poster presentation. There's the technical. We've got to figure out a size, which we just talked about, a format, a color, font, charts, and so forth. And then there's style and marketing. Remember when I said that one of the advantages of a poster presentation is you get to meet people, you get to meet contacts, other people who are doing similar things. So you have to attract them to your poster. That's style and marketing. We'll talk about that. Next slide. Okay, let's get into the technical. We've got to decide what software to use. Then we have to pick a template for the poster and decide on the size, color, font, charts, and white space. White space is where you have no writing. You got to print it and present it. Next slide. Okay, what software should you use? I've got 6 forms of software here that are all suitable for making posters. The top 3 are completely free, and the second 3, they'll give you a little bit of time, and then you pay $37.99 a month. That's a lot of money. Now, if you have Adobe Illustrator, or InDesign, or Photoshop at your school or work, and you know how to use them, do it. If not, I would stick with the free ones. I've looked at Visme and actually taken a course on it. I didn't think the course was adequate for me to make a poster, but it was interesting. Canva has a sort of a student version of their program, which is free, and then the professional version you have to pay something for. Microsoft PowerPoint is not really free, but if it's part of Office 365, most people already have it. Next slide. Okay, why use Microsoft PowerPoint? You probably already have it. There's no learning curve. Almost everyone knows how to use PowerPoint. It doesn't matter which version you use. You can use some version from a couple of 5 years ago, and it still works to make your poster. It's an industry standard, and all companies that print scientific posters prefer using PowerPoint. Now, if you use another program and turn your slides into PDFs, they'll do it. But they use PowerPoint and print PowerPoint posters every day, so they'd rather have that. Next slide. Okay, now we've decided on some software. We've got to find a template. So go to Google and put research poster templates in the search bar, and you'll find lots and lots. Here's just the first three: Canva, posterpresentations.com, and Poster Nerd. I'm going to suggest using Poster Nerd. It's sort of a funny name. They used to be called makesigns.com. The reason to use this program is, number one, even if you don't use them to print your poster, their templates are free. You can take their templates and go to somewhere else, and they're just fine with it. The second thing is that this is all they do, is do scientific posters. They do it day in and day out. So they really know what they're doing. So that's why I'm going to stick with these for an example. All right, next slide. All right, this is more, I recommend makesigns.com, which is the same as Poster Nerd. Here's their address, www.posternerd.com. The other thing that they have is YouTube videos that will give you further instruction. I think I found these under makesigns.com, but it's all the same company. Next slide. Okay, let's go into Poster Nerd here. And I pulled up tutorials. Look, they have scientific poster parts, layout, design, images, charts, everything you can desire. And furthermore, they have really succinct summaries, really well written. Look at this. At its core, a scientific poster is a visual representation of data that has been organized and consolidated into an easily digestible format. Exactly. This is exactly what you want. You want a visual poster. You want to distill your data so that people get it right away. A good poster should be able to be understood in a few minutes. So it's of utmost importance to make sure your poster is logical, consistent, and designed well. Well said. All right, next slide. I just wanted to show you some of the other things they have on the Poster Nerd website, things about your background, good advice, titles and heading styles, and so forth and so on. Next slide. Okay, now we're going to find a template. So this is under resources, and you can pull it up and you can see the beginnings of some templates at the bottom. So let's go into that and take a look at it. Next slide. Here's just some of the templates that they have. You notice there are similar sort of design, but all different colors. The other thing you'll notice is they have multiple sizes. Now, we said 48 by 36 was the most common, but you can click on any of these. And as long as whatever size of poster you make fits on the poster board, that's fine. You can do a square one, a vertical one. Most people do rectangular 48 by 36. The other thing is, for these templates, they have funny names. Deliberating watermelon. In this one, whoever's deliberating couldn't decide on what colors to use. There's all different kinds of colors. I wouldn't recommend that. Let's go over here to intuitive cerulean and bring that up. Next slide. And this is what comes up. Now you see the title, this scientific poster template is provided by Poster Nerd and so forth. You can just click on that and add your own title and your own name. Let's do that. Next slide. So I said, my aromatherapy poster, lavender essential oils, and effective sleep aid, put my name in here. Now, it's hard to see what these subtitles are. This is abstract methodology, but we can blow it up by going to view, and we can see it better. Next slide. You see here, abstract methodology, results, recommendations. Now, this abstract, this is the abstract that you submitted to get into the poster conference. There's some debate about putting your abstract on the poster itself because it's just a lot of words. And some authorities say that should never be done. We should eliminate that. Sometimes it's required. For instance, at the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology, they require you to have your abstract on your poster. This is the reason. They have a lot of posters, like over 300, and each attendee gets a book of abstracts. Before the conference, they will go flip through their book of abstracts and decide what they want to see. And they'll check those off. And they only recognize your poster by the abstract. So when they walk around among all the posters, they're looking for your abstract. And when they see it on the poster, then they know that's the one they wanted to see. Okay, next slide. You can change the color of the poster. Okay, so this is the same intuitive cerulean template that we had before, and I went up to design and clicked it, and all this stuff came up, and I changed this second on the right, this second color. This is what I changed the poster to. And when I did that, colors, fonts, effects, and background styles came up. And look at all these different colors. I'm not suggesting that you use all these colors, but they're available if you do want to. Next slide. Okay, let's talk about colors. And on the right is a color wheel. Colors should enhance your content and not detract from it. So don't use neon colors or psychedelic colors, because that will probably isolate you in poster presentation and it will detract from your scientific content. Limit your poster to 2 or 3 colors. You don't want a whole lot of colors. That will distract. Remember, you want light lettering, like on a dark background. Here's an example right here under blue. See how that white on blue stands out, and black lettering on a light background, such as we have the yellow is in black against that light yellow. Now, one way to pick colors is to pick a primary and a complementary color. So, for instance, blue is a primary color, and if you, on the color wheel, if you run the arrow right through the center of the color wheel and out the other end, and it will point to its complementary color. So orange is the complementary color of blue, green is the complementary color of red, and so forth and so on. That's one way to do it. Next slide. Fonts. Don't use script fonts that look like cursive writing or weird fonts. Actually, to illustrate this, I picked some really strange fonts, and I couldn't read them myself on the slide, so no one's going to read them on a poster. Choose sans serif rather than serif fonts. Now, what does that mean? Okay, this is probably Times New Roman. Serif fonts have little decorations. Look at this little footer, little header here on the B, little dot on the C. Sans serif doesn't have any of that. Now, serif fonts are fine for your article, but for a poster, you want immediately recognizable script or lettering. And see how clear this sans serif is, especially for headlines and subheadlines. Don't use drop shadow, weird things, other effects, and limit fonts to 2 or 3. Well, why would you need 2 or 3 fonts? Well, you need a font for your title and for your subtitles, like for abstract, methodology, results. You need another size font. And then for the text, whatever text you have, you need a slightly smaller font. So 2 or 3 fonts should do it. Next slide. Okay, images, graphs, and charts. You definitely want these on your poster. You can think of a graph as it's like an essential oil. It's a distillation of your experiments, and it's easily recognized. Any viewer can see if the graph goes up or down or flat or whatever. Now, when you use graphs and charts on your poster, make sure to save the images in JPEG or PNG format. That's important, so they'll be able to be reproduced. The other thing is make sure your images are in high resolution. So most internet images are only like 72 dots per inch. And if you enlarge these, as you must for a poster, they'll either look blurry or jagged. You don't want that. So use high resolution images, and that means like 300 dots per square inch or per inch for any illustration that you use. Next slide. Okay, this is fun. Go over to Flickr if you're looking for ideas, and they have groups, and then they have something called, it's a funny name, Pimp My Poster. But real researchers will post their images of their posters on Flickr. And so you can scroll through and see what other people are doing. Now, in this screenshot, I just have 3 posters here, okay? Now, let me ask you this. Of these 3 posters, you can only go to one of them. Which one are you going to go to? I'm going to go to the one in the middle. It looks more interesting, and there's less to read. Look at this on the left. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't see where I'm pointing. The middle one, yeah, is the one I would go to. The one on the left, the graphs are so small you can hardly see them. And look at all you have to read. If I'm going to read, I want to, sit down with a cup of coffee and not stand in front of a poster and try to read this. This might be excellent research, but this is the middle one is the poster that's going to bring in viewers. And that's what you want. Next slide. Okay, let's learn to critique posters. All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's a sort of schematic for analyzing a poster. Does the title draw you in? Does the poster flow from one section to another? Is there too much text to read? Is it hard to read because you have it in different colors or something? Are there charts and graphs included? Now, on the left is what I think is an outstanding poster. Let's look at the title, Sizing Up the Crab Invaders. Well, that's gonna attract my attention, but as a subtitle, she has this scientific morphometrics for greenest species can assess population, blah, blah, blah. All right. Does it flow? Crustacean domination, which crab is which crab, measurements, data, next. Yeah, it flows. Is there too much text? No, there's not really too much. Is it hard to read? Now, this is low resolution, so when I blew it up, it's blurry, as you can see, but she has a yellow or white lettering on a dark background, and there's not too much of it. So I think she's really done a great job. Now, in the spirit of we can always make the good better, is there anything that you would suggest for this poster? Well, the graphs here are pretty small, and it looks like some of them might be hard to read. I'd rather have the graphs in a higher position on this vertical poster rather than look down at them, and I'd make them larger. But this is a fine poster. Let's take a look at another one next. Okay, this is a master's student who's done research, and she's eager to tell you about it. Let's see, too many colors? No, she's just got blue and white. She sort of faded this. This is sort of a nice step here. Does it flow well? Introduction, methods, results, conclusion. No, that's good. Does she have charts and graphs? Yeah, and they're big and easy to see. This is she's got white space. She doesn't have too much text. This is a good poster. Now, again, is there anything that we could suggest that would improve this poster? Anyone have any ideas? What about the title? Does the title draw you in if you are a non-specialist? I've looked at it for a couple of months and I still don't know what it says. With a catchy title, and this is a subtitle, she would attract more viewers. But overall, this is a good poster. Okay, next slide. All right. Everybody makes mistakes, including myself. This is one of my titles, The Deleterious Effect of FPL 55712 on Gas Exchange in the Basenji Greyhound Dog Model of Asthma. What the heck is that about? What deleterious effect? Does anyone know what FPL 55712 is? Who are Basenji Greyhounds and what's the dog model of asthma? You see, I put the title on a poster that I should have used on an article. I should have had another title and have this as a subtitle. Okay, next slide. Here's another one. Unraveling the pathogenesis of Tripiomycosis. I guess that's some sort of fungus. I can understand that. Boy, this frog here really catches my attention. Does it flow well? Introduction, aims, methods. Yeah. Is there too much text? No. It's got pictures. Has he got graphs? Yeah. This is easy to see. This is a really good poster too. It's non-conventional, but boy, is it attractive with that big frog there. That's going to draw people in. Next slide. What about this one? What's the title? I'm not sure. Maybe it's amoxicillin. Who are the authors? Well, we don't know. Maybe it's a drug company. I don't know. Does it flow? I don't know where to start. indications maybe, or I don't know. What's SAR? And look at all of these are different colors. Are there charts and graphs? Well, there's just this molecular diagram. I guess maybe that's amoxicillin. I don't know. No, this is not a good poster. This is a triumph of the designer rather than the researcher. Next slide. Okay. Pigs in space, effective zero gravity and ad libitum feeding on weight gain in Cavia porcellus. Actually, Colin Purrington, I think he's a professor at Swarthmore. He's actually a very, very clever guy. He made this to illustrate mistakes. This is an intentional bad poster, and it's outstanding. What did he do? Well, he tipped the title, you know, like the Star Wars movie. He doesn't put Latin phrases ad libitum and Cavia porcellus in italics. Each of these blocks is a different color. There's no charts or graphs. He has these nonsense logos up here. He's supported by the High Fructose Sugar Association and black hole diet plans. This is just nonsense. He's also linked a bad poster with bad science. And the science that he wants to present here is if you take guinea pigs and put them on a spaceship and send them out between the Earth and the Moon where you have zero gravity. And he found that at zero gravity, it doesn't matter how much you eat. You still weigh nothing. In fact, some of his experimental subjects, he said, weighed less than nothing. He has this nonsense picture of a guinea pig on a scale. Also, he has acknowledgments. No one cares. You should thank people, absolutely. But you don't have to put that on your poster. Literature cited, and he even does that. He cites NASA in 1982 project, guinea pigs leaked internal memo. I mean, this is just nonsense, but it's a really great example of what not to do. Okay, next. All right, printing your poster. You have lots of options. You can do it at your school or your office. You can go to Staples, Kinko's, Office Depot, FedEx, or you can use a professional poster printer. And these are the people at Poster Nerd. And I priced a 48 by 36 glossy paper. You always want to use glossy paper. What they would charge to print it, $61.25. That's nothing. You've spent at least 6 months on your research. So paying a little bit on a good presentation, not a problem. The other thing about Poster Nerd is they will actually print the poster, roll it up, put it in a mailing tube, and send it to your hotel at the conference if you've forgotten anything. The other thing that they can do is they can print on fabric. So when you print on glossy paper in a roll, then you're going to have to put that, if you're traveling by plane, in the overhead. Don't forget it. But the fabric posters, you can just fold up and put it in your carry-on luggage and use it again and again. You have to pay a little bit more. Now, how does this, the Poster Nerd $61 compare with Staples, Kinko's, Office Depot, and FedEx. Usually these companies, general printing companies, will charge about twice as much. So you're talking about $122. Okay, next slide. What is your role at a poster conference? Well, Tammy Wynette said, stand by your man, and I'm saying stand by your poster. One of my early posters, I wanted to go off and left my mentor minding my poster to see other people's posters. And when I got back, my mentor said, the Surgeon General was very upset by your poster. Well, he wasn't upset by the poster. He was upset because he found that we were doing things that other places weren't doing. But if you're not by your poster, you're going to miss the people who come to see it. Smile, shake hands, have business cards ready to give them so they can contact you. You might have some preprints of your article. Make contacts, make friends, and have fun. Next slide. Okay, what are our key takeaways? Use PowerPoint for your software, download a template, choose a catchy title, create a visual poster, not a verbal poster. Minimize the text. Keep it simple, stupid. Add charts and graphs, leave lots of white space, and have an elevator speech about your research. So you should be able to outline your research, what it's about, in 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Next slide. Okay, further reading. Here's a couple of articles about making a poster. Also, on Udemy, there's a little course by a guy named John Elder, how to make a great scientific research poster. So I've used a lot of ideas from his course, and it's very, very clear, and he goes into great detail. Next slide. Questions. And by the way, if you're feeling overwhelmed, too much information came too fast, you can watch this video again when it goes up on the AIA website in 2 days if you're a AIA member. If you're not an AIA member, after our annual conference in September, we will put up the website for the Research Academy, and you can watch it there. What sort of questions do you have for me?
Wow. Excellent job, Bruce.
Oh, thank
It
you.
that was fantastic. I feel inspired to make a poster that's good.
Good. That's the point for this, to make a poster. And
Yes.
remember, we're still taking posters for our conference next month.
Yes, we are.
We
What's
would
the deadline for
love
that?
to bless your poster.
The deadline for that, it's kind of up to Teresa, this is going to be displayed online. So, and I'm just going to step in here. My name is Marnie, on the conference committee, and have a bit to do with the posters. They're all going to be displayed online. So there's no need to print them for this particular conference. And I believe we'll accept them, maybe up to a couple of weeks before the conference. So if you're getting inspired and you have a project that you want to turn in, you know what, maybe somebody could go out and grab the link to the poster stuff? Is Teresa still on here or?
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe grab the link and stick it in the chat so that they could submit their idea.
GATA-FASE, which is supporting us in the Research Academy, has a virtual poster showcase every year. And you can go to their website and find out more about that. Linda Ann Kahn asked a question: is it good to have a print to hand out to your poster viewers? Absolutely. If you want to tell about your research and influence people, absolutely have it.
Hey, so
Marnie's got a question.
thank you. I just want to say something. When I haven't been doing research a long time, but I happened to get my start in publication because of a poster that I made. And I displayed a poster about the West Virginia nurses and the aroma patches that I did the study about. I displayed that at the 2019 AIA conference. And boy, I was so excited. Oh my gosh, and nervous. But everything wonderful happened. You know, people liked it, and I was able to talk to them about it. And then I was actually offered a chance to publish that study. And, you know, for a young researcher, that's a big deal. So I would really encourage anybody that's got work to share to give it a try. It's kind of scary, but it's really fun.
Also, Marnie, it's not only individual research, but team-based improvements. And I know that that's one of the things that GATA-FASE emphasizes. What are you doing as a team, not just what you have found out about one particular essential oil.
That wraps up today's session. Thanks for tuning into the AIA Research Academy. This academy exists thanks to the generous support of the GATA-FASE Foundation and is here to make aromatherapy research fun, accessible, and relevant. Our mission is simple yet powerful: to educate, inspire, and connect a global community committed to advancing the science of aromatherapy. We envision a future where research is not just part of the conversation, but the culture. The best part? Access is completely free. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below. And if you're an AIA member, the Academy is already part of your member benefits, putting powerful resources right at your fingertips. If you're passionate about deepening your understanding of aromatherapy through research, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay connected with our latest sessions. We appreciate your curiosity, your time, and your commitment to learning.